All right, today we're doing a cutout. Got bees in a wall beside a chimney, and we'll see if we can get them out of there. Bees are right up here. Their entrance is right where that caulking is. And they're actually further down in the wall, down about here. You can kind of see the heat signature up there by the entrance where they come in. All right, here we are upstairs, and access the bees, we had to go through this little cubby hole. It was a tight squeeze, let me tell you. Kept catching my bee suit on a little nail, but the bees are over there in the wall. Let's get a heat signature on them. You can see right there the bees are right behind the wall. So now we know where to start cutting. Didn't look like that big of a hive. Turned out to be a much bigger hive than I thought. See, judging from the heat signature, this little section here was all that I thought the hive consisted of. Not only did it extend over into other sections, but it was also a lot deeper of a hole than I thought it was. Here I am vacuuming. The vacuum is made specifically for bees. It has an adjustable speed so that you're not ripping their wings off. It doesn't hurt them at all, it just sucks them in there and holds them. And then I take the comb out and I cut it into sections and put it into empty frames so they can reuse it. See, this here is another section that I was talking about. This is pretty much where all the honey was. I wasn't expecting this section to be over here. The majority of the bees were over on the right hand side, so that's why the heat signature was showing. And this was all mostly just honey stored, so they don't have to keep that warm too much. There was a little bit of honey up a little bit higher towards the ceiling that I had to really reach up in there and get. But man, that was a mess. And then here I had a group of bees after I took a break that decided to pile up down in the joists. So I had to get down there and vacuum them out. And all the bees kept going to my light, so I would suck them out periodically. Easy pickings. These are only some of the bees in the vacuum. I already dumped some in the hive because they were filling up the vacuum. But as you can see, they're perfectly fine. They're happy in there. They're not hurt at all. Alright, it's time to put them in a regular hive box. Let's see how they're doing here. Pull this first frame out. Alright, they seem to have accepted it. Remember, I cut the comb out of their hive and I put it in these frames with these rubber bands, so they'll fill in the gaps, and they seem like they like it good enough. Alright, so we'll dump the rest of these bees. Look how they're hanging on the bottom like that. Just piled up, hanging on. Dump them in here. Dump the rest. You might think there's a bunch of them flying around, how are they ever going to find their way into that hive? You know, they came out of a house. They don't know, where they live now. Bees go off of pheromones. They can smell each other, and so they know where their brothers and sisters are. Put this super on here because it's got some drawn comb that they can use, and I'll put a feeder on top with some sugar water in it, so they can start storing away some sugar water immediately. And those are the residual ones just hanging out. You can see they've accepted the hive there, so they seem to be happy with it. And you can see some of them fanning their wings and stuff. They're basically just telling the rest of the bees this is home now. And they'll all find their way right in. They're going to have a good spot here in the bee yard. I think Mother Nature's a little confused. It's September.